For some reason we were having an audio problem and it just wasn't working on OBS, so thought make the very quick switch over. Just need to make sure my microphone audio is all okay because I've just changed it. Is it the right? Oh, that's very loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, just I've
God, you've gone really quiet now.
have I? Is it quiet?
Yes.
Very quiet.
I'll turn you up, it's fine.
Yeah, I am on the right microphone. Nevertheless, nobody's done a lap yet, so it's not the end of the world. Though Vita has just gone onto a lap, so has BR4, Yozzy, Stiggy, Luca, and WCS.
They can hear me.
They can hear you. They can hear you.
I'm so happy.
Woo.
I'm so happy. Oh, PS5 is a nightmare.
Oh, that's ideal. Right, lovely.
I don't actually know who's first on the lap here. I've been so busy just trying to make sure my microphone sounds are working. But yes, obviously, welcome back to PSGL. Last time out we were in the Algarve. This time out we are in the Ardennes. The Ardennes Forest in Belgium. Of the most historic track, and well, one of the most historic tracks in Formula One history. Shortened down quite a long time ago, from like 8 kilometers long, wasn't it, or something? No, it was something stupid. It was one of the most dangerous tracks of all time. Now it is still probably one of the most dangerous tracks on the calendar, but it is one of the fastest and one of the best.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful track as well.
Yeah, an absolute brute of a track, to be totally honest. Also, importantly, this is not really importantly. I was going to reply to someone that was said in the comments. F9 race without Fabi. Yeah, he's left us. I can't believe it. It's outrageous. He's gone on to PC. It's heartbreaking. However, I imagine we've got an amazing person to replace him. I've actually got no idea who's taking his seat, and I can't see my screen. Great. Life is going brilliantly. I know Yozzy's just gone and set the fastest time, and then there we go. Vita has just come across the line to set a 1:43.3. That puts him P3 and just over half a second off of the pace. Other driver Kyle just about to come across the line with the Alfa Romeo DRS wide open. It's a very short little DRS straight the start-finish line, but it does get the job done, and he gets himself up 4/10 away in P3. Pretty quiet little grid today, only 15 drivers. Yeah, not best of attendance.
16 there. Questro is Questro joined.
Ah, okay. Oh yes, it's just gone up. As I say that, brilliant. Real Pordy about to come across the line as well, just coming around the final corner, and let's see how he gets on. Up to P8, so just over a second away. Not too bad. Who do you think is going to take pole today?
Oh, it's got to be Yozzy, hasn't it? I think he's leading the championship still. It's got to be him. But I just want to, and hopefully he hasn't put on any weight over the Christmas and New Year period. Clogging up the space on the wheel, you know, sometimes that can happen. Sometimes that can be a reason why you struggle after the Christmas break. But we're talking about Christmas and New Year. Hopefully everyone had a very good New Year. Hopefully, most of you don't remember it. I certainly don't.
No.
But hopefully you had a very good Christmas and New Year, and hopefully, as I said, you don't remember it, because if you do remember it, it's not a good Christmas.
No. Well, something else as well, what we wanted to say, I hope you had an amazing Christmas, especially if you got a GT Omega chair. But if you didn't, it's not the end of the world, because they're still available, and our code still works. To use PSGL at the checkout, it gets you 5% off of all GT Omega.
The links are beautiful. Good. The links still work. We've been off for 3.5 weeks and it still works. It's beautiful.
Still works a charm.
But yeah, I obviously got a beautiful PS5 for Christmas. I'm very happy about that. Thank you, mother. If you didn't get a PS5 and still have a PS4, then it's not the end of the world. There's still crossplay. You can still race in PSGL. PlayStation is crossplay for now. I don't know what it's gonna be like next game. So just be careful.
Big shout, actually.
Well, you know EA and FIFA tend to disobey the PS4 versions of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about FIFA there.
Yeah, brush it aside.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do for next year's version, because there's still more PS4. I think there's still more PS4s being used than PS5s, which is quite an interesting thing. Yeah, because they're so hard to get still. That scope goes P5, by the way.
Yes, yeah, I was watching on board with the Aston Martin. A little fight there with the Williams as well, going into the final corner. Probably lost him a little bit of time. I reckon he probably could have taken Stevie had he not got into that little kerfuffle there. However, still P5, really, really solid position for him. So I say what I got for Christmas? I got an actual setup. I now have multiple screens off which to stream and to talk to you, and I have a desk which I can attach a microphone to. It's brilliant. It's made my life so much easier.
My name's Carter. I got a setup.
Oh, it's nothing special, but I can't lie. It's well needed. We'll say that.
For Christmas, I signed my contract for an undisclosed fee to a girl, and I don't really want to talk about it. I could have missed today.
Done deal.
But my priorities, Jack Tyler to Alexi, here we go, confirmed. No. It was raining. Is it raining? It's raining. It's raining.
Oh my God, is it raining?
Oh, what a spot by me, by the way. It is raining.
How will you see it? I'm not seeing rain.
My eyesight is not impaired. The people told me I need glasses. It's still right. It is raining. It is raining. Also, your mic's unplugged, by the way.
Has it? Oh no.
Oh, no, it's back in now. It's back in now.
Oh,
were you just far away or something?
Does it sound like I'm unplugged?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just leaning around the side of it.
Oh.
It is raining.
It's an actual microphone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an actual microphone.
Oh. Let's see how the times will be affected. See, Belgium does tend to get wet quite quickly, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And what's really annoying is the fact that Belgium's such a big track, the longest on the calendar, 7,004 metres at length. It means some parts of the track can be absolutely soaking and the others haven't had a drop of rain yet. Which causes for a really big mix-up. You know, other tracks that do that include Le Mans and the Nordschleife. Spa just about manages to do it, and Imola as well, even though that's not particularly long.
A big track. But we saw it in real life with Imola, didn't we? Three might get held up here by Williams. We might get held up. Traffic doesn't tend to be a problem around this track. A lot of traffic is starting to be a problem. If the guys have proper coast this race, we know how close this grid is anyway, but if they are coast this race and around the longest track on the calendar by far and away, then wow, this grid, it means business.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Yossi's still sitting sort of far and beyond anybody else. 3/10 back to the next driver's our time, and then Carl 4/10 back. But I think the fight for second and third place, I think, could be really, really strong today. We've got quite a few drivers that are looking sort of in with a shout, if you think about it. Scopez really isn't that far off of third, 600ths of a second. As we see Kyle there, who is in third as of right now, was just in the wall. Has managed to get himself back out, though, no damage. I can see that there might be a little bit.
Realistically, are these the last laps for these guys now, because it's raining?
I think if it gets to the point where it's intermediate weather, then yeah, why on earth would they go out? It's unnecessary.
Yeah, so it's surely the last laps now. As Yossi goes, that's a 42.7, which is
just further
stupid.
Extends his lead. Yeah, I can't really see many people catching him now. Kyle, he is on a lap. He's 300ths of a second up. Running through sector 2. Oh no, he's 13 seconds down because of that incident during the first half of sector 2. Stig as well is on an in-lap. Vita invalid. T-Show in the pits. Luca's down on his time. This could get him up to P6 or P5 if he really nails these next two sectors. Currently in 8th place, 7/10 down. Let's see how he does going through the chicane. It's pretty solid, as you can definitely see the rain sort of running around the car. And I've got to say, the updated Aston Martin livery is so nice.
Always round.
Oh, there he goes. Round he goes. And he was down on his time just before, but yeah, a couple of cars got updated liveries, didn't they? And I think the Aston Martin was really effective.
I think, yeah, because it had a green halo, didn't it?
Looks a lot better at the back.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. The Alpine one's a bit different as well, obviously, with more sponsors. Red Bull obviously the same as well. Got Walmart on it, which is their Asda.
Couldn't believe it when Asda got bought out by Walmart.
Which is their which is their Asda. They got bought out. They got bought out by Walmart. What?
Asda got bought out by Walmart.
Did they?
Yeah, quite a few years ago.
Oh wow. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, it was like back in like 2015, 2016. Yeah, because if you go to a really really big Asda, it says Asda or Walmart brand.
Oh, Asda Walmart brand. Yeah. Yeah.
What other drivers are out on track? Boeing just coming into the pit lane, real poorly, on a lap at the moment by the looks of it, or whether he's just done a lap. I think he's just done a lap and is on his in. A couple of other drivers still getting out there though, going full out laps. So must be that the rain is almost just entirely, I guess cosmetic would be the right word, because it's not affecting the physics of the cars, and not taking away any sort of levels of downforce. Otherwise, why on earth would they be going out?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they just feel like they have to get the laps in, but they're all going out quite early for Belgium. Well, also, I can't actually see how long they're left from the timer. I think it's like 4 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, it can't be long now. We've been going at this for some time. Just be helpful if we had no yellow flags, because why they decided to put those in the same place, I'll never know.
Surely they should make it just the timer yellow, right? As I said this before.
Just move the timer, or just have it so the yellow flag just shows up on like the side or something, so you can still see it. Make life so much. It's real poorly as of right now, going very very slowly, causing that. I think he's just trying to save up a little bit of ERS, or just trying to waste a little bit of time. Rain's looking a little bit more, I guess, a little bit
pulling on the cars now. Yeah,
on the track. It's sort of holding on the cars rather than just running off, and it's starting to blur up the visor or the camera if you're looking on board of the track, which usually just means it's getting a little bit heavier, a little bit more hard hitting. Well, hopefully we I kind of hope that it stays like this and then picks up for the race, because that'd be great. Wet Spa is fun.
It's not when you're driving.
It's fun to watch.
T-Cho's 2 turns up, by the way, on his time. Goes through Lacom. Is it Lacom? It's Lacom, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Down the camera straight into Lacom, yeah. Into the right hander. Left handler, no name.
That's no name. Yeah, that's the one.
Technically, it is a name because they named it no name. But
this is Puon.
Yeah, Puon, one of the most famous corners on the track. Stavro coming up. Not yet though. We've got the left chicane, right left chicane. Hamilton actually crashed in practice. 3 in 2018, I want to say. Into Stavro. Obviously, you could go really wide here back in the olden time gate. Old in the old games, you can't anymore. Ticho is now cut down the straight through Stavro, through the right corner, which is quite tough.
Up as well in his time, I saw going into sector 3. So if he can manage to keep an equal pace through this tiny, short, sharp, but very slow bus stop chicane, if he can keep a similar delta, that will push him up a considerable amount of places, possibly into a podium position, and it has. He moves up to P3, half a second away from Yossi now, as most drivers out on track. Who's coming up to the line? It's a McLaren of a BR4JK will be next across the line. Oh no, he's in the pits. Who's next? It's an Alfa Romeo, I know that much. It'll be Kyle who comes across the line. What time's he going to put in? It's 10 seconds down. Okay, so he's going for a lap. I think, who was that just came across the line as well? That is Piestro, who's now going pretty slowly, so I think that might have just been his lap, as the rain definitely seems to be affecting the track a little bit more. The track looks a little bit damp now, doesn't it? It's not fully dry anymore, I wouldn't have said. Maybe
no, it doesn't look amazing, does it? It doesn't look amazing.
I think they might be just losing a little bit of grip at the moment, but not really a lot at the same time. Who we got through next? Yeah. Stiggy's through next.
If you want to take us for the last minute,
Yeah,
Harry
last
Potter.
minute. Well, let's have a little look and see. Most people coming into the pit lanes, I'm totally honest. Vita is next across. Let's have a little look at whether he's coming into the pits. No, he's not. He's actually going for the final corner. Let's see how he gets on. Well, it's a 1:43.3, which pushes him up to P6. And it's a Haas next across the line. It's Yozzy. And he improves yet again. Alexa, shush. No idea what it's saying to me about. I'm so sorry about that. He just started waffling. Who was just across the line? Boeing, P13, a second off the pace. Pretty decent, actually. Next across the line will be Dietz, Tisho, who's going pretty slow. So he's done for quali. No, Piestro's done. I think it might just be, it'll be this Alfa Romeo that looks pretty quick. Is he going for it though? He is going for it. He is on a lap. Let's see how he gets on as he skates out of the final corner. He is going to keep it going, but no, does slow down at the end.
I've just seen one of the best saves you will ever see, and my mic was on mute. It was beautiful. Yozzy threw out of Lake on right hander and into the left hander into the right hander, the flat one basically. He literally loses the car but saves it brilliantly. It doesn't even validate. It's absolutely amazing. But everyone's finished, I think. So I think that is qualifying done.
I think that is qualifying done. All the drivers that I'm looking around right now are going rather slow indeed. If not, just controlled by AI. Oh, there's Luca going around in a circle. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying done. And unfortunately not quite as eventful as we were hoping for it to be, with the raindrops falling on their heads. However, it wasn't quite as exciting as we were expecting, as Yozzy takes a comfortable pole position above Zartam, who joins him on the front row, with Det Tisho and Kyle just behind, half a second away from Yozzy's time. Although, ignoring Yozzy, it's a pretty close grid actually. From P3 to P7, there's a 10th in it. That's pretty good going. So I think we could have a really strong fight for a podium position here, so long as, people are careful, people are safe and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. But I think, okay, we've got a pretty clear winner as of right this second, but in other ways, about the timer blocked, yellow flag can't.
You right?
Yeah. About the timer blocks and the yellow flag, can't you just move the yellow flag thing? You know what? I've tried it so many times, but the thing is when you try and adjust the HUD, it only lets you adjust the one for racing in. It doesn't actually let you adjust the broadcast one, which is really annoying. Or not that I've been able to find a way to do it. And oh no, I haven't done quality roundup for that. Oh, I've got a plan. I've just got it right here, haven't I? Oh no, I haven't got all the drivers there, have I? I might do. Oh, so close. We have 16 drivers. I can only see 14. It's not good enough. Wait, so, yeah, honestly, ridiculous. I don't know why they don't do it. I don't know.
Oh, I was just making sure you could still hear me on the I was saw then. Oh my god, on the stream, but you can. And it's sunny. No formation lap, by the way, so let's not forget about that.
Righty, 28 seconds before we get underway. Do you
Oh,
have...
the Dolphins are leading. The Dolphins are winning, sorry. I was just excited there.
Do you have any sort of wild predictions that might occur?
Yozzy and Tam to collide turn 1.
Ooh. Well, we'll find out in about 15 seconds time.
No. Or a massive argument stems from one of those two in chat. An argument will stem in the chat. 100%.
Alrighty, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Red lights here in Spa. We're underway after a pretty long start, and Yossi does get off to a very good start. He gets himself well and truly into the lead immediately, and Zartam also very well defended. It's going to be Tisho and Kyle that are going to battle. It is a slight little nudge there, and I think Tisho's going to lose out because of that. Kyle moves up into P3 as we now head down to Radion. Up the hill we go. And it is Yossi comfortably in the lead. A couple of drivers towards the back of the grid. T-Show under a lot of pressure from Stiggy right now. And I think it's going to go 4 wide down the back straight. Who's going to take it? It's going to be the Mercedes that loses out the most. And it's going to be Vita that manages to get himself through. But I think Scopez doesn't want anything to do with that. He's going to try and sweep it round the outside. And yes, he does. What a move. That definitely gave me flashbacks from 2018. Either way...
Yeah.
Kisto going down the inside of the Mercedes. Is he going to be able to get the move done and join his Williams teammate? They're still going to go side by side down into Pouon. Is it going to be the Williams? Yes, he is. He gets on the brakes a little bit later. Mercedes not quite enough downforce to get himself hooked around the outside. And what a chaotic start. Anything that I missed?
I mean, technically, maybe he's just gone round, hasn't he? He might have got damage, I don't know. Technically, my prediction of them two colliding in turn 1 has gone correctly because they did touch, so I'm taking it any day of the week. That's my bet done. Give me my money. Nah. Interesting little start though, isn't it? Both our tires actually spun for 3 corners, which is going to be awful for them. Rance Toss will not be a happy boy.
No.
But yes, you know, good to Steiner and Christian Horner.
Who goes round? That's Stiggy that's gone round. That's BR that's gone out, and I think they're still fighting. And there we go. Yellow. Is it safety or is it VSC? I can't actually tell. VSC. Got a little VSC. They're just straighten the pack out a little bit.
Obviously, Spa notorious for its 1998 collision in the wet, which was down this straight actually, where I can't remember who started it. It might be David Coulthard who started it actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was just total chaos.
And David Coulthard actually crashed twice in that race with 2 different cars. The only driver to do that. And Michael Schumacher famously stormed down the pit lane.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Anger.
Was that with a slight incident with a man with only 3 wheels?
No, he had 3 wheels, didn't he? It was Coulthard. It was Coulthard he hit.
Yeah, Schumacher hit Coulthard and limped home with 3 wheels.
Yeah, Williams home. Don't know how he managed to do that, but there you are.
No clue.
And he was absolutely seething, ripped out his earplugs, ripped the fire, the balaclava off, and was going towards McLaren, and he confronted him. We'd often see that in MotoGP, never see that in F1, so it was quite interesting actually. That 1998 race was famously won by Damon Hill, and it was a Jordan 1-2 with Heinz Howard Fencer in 1998 coming home in P2. I believe 1999 was the year they went for the championship and nearly lost it. And nearly won it, sorry.
We are underway, and
underway again.
Putting on the pressure immediately on Zartam, called that VSC ending very, very well and was nearly able to pull a move, but it wasn't quite to be. Nevertheless, got a nice long straight for a couple of drivers to possibly sneak their way up the insides of others. And I think Kyle is going to hold back into the bus stop. I can't see him going for a move, though. He is gaining at a rapid pace. He could go for this. No, elects against it in the end. And I think most other drivers in agreement with that. Though Red Bull Zartong had a little look. And Stiggy really struggling with grip through the bus stop chicane. That's the second time that he's got a little bit of a wiggle on. And
well, he did say to us
Vita's gone down the inside of Scopez. Going to run together with Eau Rouge. But no, much better acceleration in the end. And I think 2 are going to go up. I think the 2 Williams are going to go for it. Oh no, they were side by side.
James Vowles.
I think T-Show backed out.
James Vowles would not have been happy being guys, it's James, let's not do that. Sorry, I had to drop that in at some point. sorry. But yeah, where are we? Yeah, Stiggy obviously said he hadn't practiced with us. He hadn't practiced at all, had he? Today, and he wasn't very happy with the track. He spoke to us before, obviously gave him a lot of banter about certain things in my life. I don't know why. There's another Altarius fan, Mitrius fan again into the Gower trap. He must go.
Well, I think fighting has considerably died down since the first lap. We've only got 20...
he's going round again. He's going round again. Sorry.
Oh.
Kyle's round!
Who was that? That's Kyle.
Oh,
The
Jesus,
Alfa
that's a
Romeo.
dangerous re-entry.
Yeah, just kind of there on the track. Luckily, ghosting. Otherwise, that would have been a very big multi-car pileup.
Yeah. Yes, it would have. That's all I'm going to say on that now.
As Boeing manages to get himself... Oh, that is a past T-Show, who is currently ghosted, so I think he might have gotten a disconnect. I think that was just before we went for Eau Rouge as well. That he got disconnected. Maybe the EA gods just said no and just disconnected him. So quite a lot of fastest laps coming through, and that's another good point. We haven't looked at tyres. Well, Yossi and Tam have started it on hard, where Avita's gone for the medium tyre. Scopez and Piestro also on the hards, with Boeing on the mediums. So it's a much bigger hard ratio than it is mediums. So clearly hard is the preferable starting tyre here. I mean, it's a pretty obvious one stop, isn't it, around this track? You can't really get away with doing much else unless there's safety cars, sort of just because of the length of the track, really. And Kyle's out. Kyle's out.
That's safety car. He's at Eau Rouge.
Oh, he's up at Radion. He must have...
Sorry. That's Radion, actually.
That's Radion, actually. I can't believe they left.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I like the new female presenters on their show, so it's fine. To be fair though, they are the new presenters on their show actually alright, so I'm not too angry about them leaving. I wonder what they're gonna do though.
Yeah, I've got no idea. A couple of people have sort of thrown it around that they're gonna do. They're gonna actually be going to F1. Actually getting signed on by F1, but
what
knows?
Sky or actual F1 TV?
I don't know.
So
all I heard was rumours. I think
Matt Gallagher obviously has done F1 commentary before on F1 TV. He used to do F2 commentary as well sometimes.
Yes, he did.
So maybe
it wouldn't be the first time, would it?
Maybe Sky signed him to be an F2 commentator. We generally don't know. But yeah, safety car. I think it's actually 100% probability around Spa because of Eau Rouge.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's Radion actually.
Someone probably bottles it going up
But
Radion.
obviously, with the new, was it this year they changed it all, where they had double traps there and stuff like that?
Yes, this year they've had the big change. Right, well, Vita's come into the pits, so has Boeing, so has Stiggy. So the medium tyres have decided, yep, I want to get off these
Did he just hit the wall?
And get.
Did he just hit the wall?
I don't know.
Going onto the out. Oh, that was interesting. I don't think he got damaged. Oh, I think he hit the wall though. He must have clipped it.
Oh, the Ferrari had to stop there for a brief second. Wasn't quite ready to come in. That's a big shame. Vita obviously coming in just before, so that would just lose Real Porty a couple of tenths of a second. Who do you say? The power of a commentator. Yeah, literally as I was saying, the only strategy is unless there's a safety car, we got a safety car, which is just wonderful. It's the proper commentator.
Oh.
Hi. Oh, no, there you go. Reconnected. Lovely.
Okay. Beautiful mic.
I know. Honestly, you don't want to hear my headset mic. It's atrocious. So basically what else are we looking at, really? We're looking at a safety car, and we're looking at not a whole lot of change, really. Real Porty and Wundex have both decided to go onto the mediums. Do you think they're going to last?
Maybe. We don't know. If you heard the massive loud bang in my background, that was my sister, so I do apologise for that. Not very happy out downstairs, I don't think. But Real Porty, yeah, interesting. They might last, they might not. Maybe it's a two-stop strategy. I understand why Wundex, whatever. I understand why he's gone onto these compound tyres, because obviously he's spun up 5 times on the hards. So let's see how it goes. I admit we were tired when the safety car came out. I'm sure he'd be very angry at that. Excuse me.
Well, just got a couple more drivers to join the. Oh, I say a couple more drivers to join the back of the pack. They have just joined the back of the pack, with Wundex finally rounding out the sort of Real Porty, So, safety car in theory can come in this lap because obviously all the drivers are together. Whether it will or not, I'm not too sure. It might hold on for just one more lap, in essentially allowing the very, very real marshals to clear up the very, very real damage and debris on the track, rather than the car just despawning. However, yeah, we are going to go for one more lap. Having a little look, I think Vita is in a really, really strong position here. Especially, you can get past Tisho easily because Tisho is an AI. And then in front of them, they've just got older, hard tyres.
Windex is in again, by the way. I think he's gone in for hards again. So I think he's got a lap on the mediums.
Oh, yeah. Just one lap on the mediums. Maybe that was a wrong decision. Maybe he's just accidentally had it set to mediums.
Back on, so he can go back on hards.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, what's he saying in race director? Race director, let's have a little look. That's not.
Yeah, it's gone to 4 laps. It's gone to 4 laps. His old hards.
Ah, that's smart.
Also, do you want to check your Discord? Message I sent you.
Hello, Fabi Mark Steiner. How are you doing, mate? How's life in PC?
I need the PC, don't I?
Right. Oh, I've got to say, this is kind of the worst thing about being a commentator, trying to fill safety cars. They are great for the fact that they spice up the race.
I'm just seeing your response.
but when they're actually occurring, they are so boring. Like, I've genuinely got no idea what to talk about right now. And it's not even like we can talk about what's going on in the world of F1 right now, because there isn't a world of F1 right now.
Well, there kind of is, because we did have team principal drama actually kick off over the off-season.
We did.
I say off-season,
yeah.
I'm so used to American stuff. Off the, like, yeah, whatever. You know, James Riles went to Williams, don't know who went to, someone went to Sauber, I can't remember who it was. Someone went to Ferrari.
The McLaren fellow went to Sauber.
Oh, Scheidel, Andres Scheidel.
Yeah, Safer went to
Vasseur went to Ferrari. Which is, I still think it's a weird move. I don't know why he's gone. Well, he knows his stuff, to be fair.
He does know his stuff. Well, he made ART, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he's the owner of, well, I don't know whether he still is the owner of ART, but he started it. They've had some pretty good drivers go through their ranks.
Nick de Vries.
Nick de Vries, George Russell. Yeah, very, very
Go on, name another one. Go on, name another one. Name another one.
Just... So, we're about to get ourselves...
Lewis Hamilton! Lewis Hamilton! Oh my god, I think Hamilton drove from, didn't he?
I don't know. When
You weren't even born then.
Yeah, I was about to say, Lewis Hamilton joined F1 before I was born. So, let's be honest here. Am I really going to know? Either way, Yossi's gone really, really early and basically left Tam in the dust. Kiestro had a little look up the inside, and oh, what a dive bomb from Scopez there. He had a little, he very nearly went up the inside of Tande.
Demos has lost so many positions. Oh, Stiggy just spun Luke around.
He's done it again.
No, he just spun Luke around.
Oh, he's not even spun himself. That's such a shame.
To be fair, Stiggy couldn't do anything there about that.
No, he's done that quite a few times now, hasn't he? Spun around in that bus stop chicane. So at least it wasn't actually himself this time. No drivers going for it through Eau Rouge and up Radion, which is kind of a shame. We always love to see that happening. Zam very aggressively trying to break the slipstream. He's terrified of the two cars just behind, but no moves to be made. I don't think anybody really had any sort of chance of making moves. And oh, we've got a little Ferrari there going down the inside of Stiggy. So that's Real Porty up into 10th place. And fighting is, well, minimal at the moment. I think everybody's just trying to, you know, kind of settle down a little bit, just make sure that they kind of know what they're doing, where they're going, and whatnot. Other than that, I think Real Porty right on the back of VE Boeing as well, definitely having a little look to see whether we can get past. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets past in the next couple of laps. Yossi as well, obviously broken away once again. However, in with quite a sort of big ask really, because he's got to try and outrun these these guys on the fresh tyres that don't have to pit anymore. It's got to build up a very, very big gap between them. I mean, at the moment, the gap is to the first driver is 4 seconds. That needs to be more like 20. Well, he can be a little bit less because then he'll have the medium tyres to try and catch back up again. But he has still got to put in quite a lot of work on these hards. Other drivers that are very close is, well, really, Scope Perez and Zartam, who have really been fighting for a little while here. Be it V Boeing there, just picking up a penalty for some reason or another. I'm not too sure what's caused that. And Boeing drops down quite a few places and is now under threat from the AlphaTauri. Doesn't get the move done, and very interesting line there in comparison. Goes a lot deeper than the other 2 drivers in front of him. And I mean, it's pretty much the same kind of speed, but, you know, nothing special. T-Show also very, very close to the driver in front. However, you'll see on the camera straight, you know, he's 4 tenths away, and it looks like an absolute mile in distance. And it is because, well, it's because it is. I mean, the faster you go, the actual physical distance between a set time is just absolutely huge. And Vita right now, right on the back of Zarton, really making the most of those slightly fresher tyres. Obviously, just a couple laps younger. I just what 5 laps younger, if that. Yeah, 4 laps younger. However, he is keeping up pace very nicely, and I think he might get past Zarton pretty soon. Rolling right on the back of him. Obviously, as well, Zarton doesn't have DRS. Kiestro's managed to break free of that a little while ago. So I think we've got a move coming up very soon. Anything that's happened?
Nothing much, honest. To be honest, like, obviously Vitma's on the back of Tom, actually. Could be going down the inside into Blanchiron.
He's going for it.
He's gone for it.
Done.
He's got it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked like that was going to be the case. The Ferrari was sat on the back of that Red Bull, sort of really close, and sort of leaving no room for Zartom to make an error. Zartam going and setting the fastest lap as of right now, 147.2. So closing a little bit in on Yossi, just putting a bit of more pressure on for Yossi to speed up. And oh my god, what else is going on? Kiestro also quite close to Scope Perez, so I definitely can see a move possibly happening down the Kemmel Straight if he gets a good enough run, which I think he might do here. You know, I think he could go for this. It's going to be very close as they hit the braking zone. He's going to hold back.
Oh, Vitma just nearly lost it. Very nearly lost it indeed.
Oh, who's gonna? Oh, the Red Bull had a little look there. Zartom still keeping on the back of Vita nicely. However, a little bit of a train forming here. Tisho and Demorts also within the train. The question is, who's going to come out on top? This is the fight for P5 as of right now.
Very much so. Fight for P5. It's not been the most entertaining Belgian Grand Prix you've ever seen in your life. 2021, I think, was less entertaining, but you know, I don't think anything can beat that. God, that was She's gone now, thankfully. Yes. So this gap actually is probably a train, honestly, and it's thousands of points. Time's closing back on Yossi though, so you could be having a little battle for it's P1. I cannot believe I just said that. But yeah, Tam's got no ERS though. Again, this is just typical Tam. He just burns his ERS all the time.
This is really struggling with ERS quite a lot. D-Morts is very close to the back of T-Show. However, this is the problem with DRS trains. You think you're going to be able to get closer, as I think a lot more drivers are beginning to join this train. Stiggy's now involved, so is Bill Fordy. V Boeing's not far away, with Windex just behind him, and I think a move could definitely sort of spout there. And looking ahead is going to be Kiestro trying to get himself up into the podium position. Down into the chicane, just about gets it made. But a very close call there, just going into the corner. And God, what else? This train is going to be an absolute plague for us all, isn't it? Because it's going to look like we've got some good battles going on. Windex has managed to get past Boeing there just very, very recently by the looks of it. And it's going to look like we have action when we just really don't. Vita's managed to break away from the train nicely. Zartom really trying to break free of it, but not quite able to do so. To sort of break free of these, you really need to, to be honest, if anything, you need to nail it in the corners. And then if you've got a really good speed through the corner, you're going to break up a nice chunk of time. The driver behind don't get DRS, happy days. However, for a lot of people, they had to set up cars to go in a straight line nice and quickly, because we've got two enormous straights, of which one isn't DRS, so you've really got to make sure that you've got quite a low drag setup, otherwise you're going to really struggle down that straight, which then means you're very open to DRS trains, which means then this happens and no one can really get past each other. Either way, Det is really close on the back of Zartom, as I've sort of been speaking about that, and a possible move inbound. Really got to nail Eau Rouge and Radion. Up the hill we go. And it's a pretty decent little gap here. 0.3 of a second, now 0.2, now a tenth. He's going to go down the inside along the Kemmel Straight. Gets the move done before they hit the braking zone. Jobs are good, and T-Show up into P6.
Yeah, nice move, to be honest. Very nice move. The Immortals are these guys are racing on the back of each other, aren't they? This is going alright, to be honest, for these guys. As soon as I say it's been a shocking race, I want to score again. A shocking race. It's not turned to be very. It's turned out to be quite good, hasn't it?
Well, we are exactly halfway through this race as of right now. Lap 11 of 22 right now. And, well, it's safe to say that one driver has been dominating this pretty much the entire time, and that is Yossi. Currently sitting with a 1.8 second gap back to Tam, who's been keeping that a pretty considerable distance. And speaking of, in goes Yossi. He's going to make his pit stop now at the halfway mark. Moving on to lap 12 as he does come into the pit lane. So he'll be going on to a set of mediums. As comes in another driver, I'm pretty sure I saw, that's T-Show that also came in. Couple drivers getting moved around because of that. So Yossi is going to exit all the way down in P12. Oh dear, oh no, he is going to beat Luca out, though Luca will have a much faster speed here, so I think we might be in for a nice little battle down the Kemmel Straight perhaps, but no, Yossi has managed to get on it just a little bit, just fast enough. Speaking of, Demorts is also going for a move down at the end of the Kemmel Straight, does get it done through the inside line and make sure that Tom can't get him on the switchback, so Demorts up into P5. Now, also on 11 lap old cards is Demort and Zartom, so they both need to come into the pit lane, so along with Scopez, Kiestro and Zartam, also all on 11 lap olds. That means they do still have to come in. Drivers like Vita, though, very safe at the moment and in really strong positions because, you know, you're just behind Sco and Kiestro, and you don't need to come in again. So whilst they go for a nice long pit stop, you are as safe as can be.
I was going to say, well, how's Yossi gone, but I realised he's pit, and he's going, oh, he's already round! He's already gone round! You've cursed him!
Oh, no!
You've cursed him!
Oh, no! The commentator's curse is so real. Actually so real. It's that's close.
Jesus.
That's close. Boeing just appeared out of nowhere. I think
wow.
might be able to get back in here. No, he does. He decides to stay behind for a little bit longer. Zartom into the pit lane, along with Kiestro as well. So, who's next in line to get these absolutely massive benefits? It's Stiggy to pretty much be the next in line to get a big win out of his early pit stop. Just three drivers in front, Zartam, Scopez and Demorts, of which The furthest is on Tam, just under 10 seconds, 9 seconds really, behind. So, still, that's a 10-second advantage. Over a few laps, I mean, so long as they're not lapping a second faster than you consistently, you have got a chance. You've got a chance at holding on, but I think defensively wise, you're going to have to really be able to defend hard and well if you're going to sort of make the most of that. Other than that, it's a fight in the midfield at the moment, or well, sort of just a train in the midfield. I'm waiting for the curse to happen again soon. No, we're not waiting for that to happen again soon. Can we just not let a commentator's curse happen again soon? Sometimes I like to be right when I say stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, Tam is driving. I'm not trying to curse him or anything, actually. He's driving very, very well. And so is Scope. They're driving extremely well. Yossi is in a train now, so
he is. He's going to have to beat this train if he wants to try and win this race, I think. And he has caught up to Vita very, very quickly. Or, well, Boeing. Vita sort of managed to let Yossi catch up to him instead. And I do think Yossi could possibly go for it here. He's already began to switch. Is he going to go for a move? He's going to go down the inside. Yes, he is going to go for a move. And it's an unbelievably good move. A very, very clean dive bomb there as Scopez and who's that? Demort also come into the pit lane. Looking just ahead though. Boeing is going to fight with Yossi and they are going to go side by side and he's going to be a bit of a push. Forces Yossi off of the road and he's going to have to rejoin and he's going to rejoin behind Vista and it's going to be incredibly close on the rejoin. And it's going to be Vista that runs up the inside and it is going to be a clean rally on somehow. Yossi's going to now try and go down sort of around the outside of Boeing. He's going to stay side by side consistently. Obviously Boeing, no DRS for Vista either. It's going to be Yossi's going to manage to get double overtake perhaps. And no, it's a slight contact. Boeing has to take evasive action there to not collide. Yossi somehow manages to hold on to it. Very impressive from him.
That's the exact save he did.
Great save.
In quali.
So good practice from him.
Did he practice in those, hasn't he? Oh wow, good save though. Almost contact.
So yeah, still needs to get past Vista and kind of needs to do that sooner rather than later. Has also picked up a penalty. 3-second time penalty for Yossi as of right now, so that's just going to put a spanner in the works as well. Great run, great move around the outside. I've got to say, Yossi can just brake later than these hard runners, so much later, and that's given him such a massive advantage through the corners. If you'd have seen through the bus stop chicane, the way he just slid up the inside was absolutely phenomenal to watch. So, what else do we have? Diestro right on the back of Scopez as well, on top of Real Cordy on the back, and Zartam in the pits as well. So I think this is a matter of let's watch Yossi and see where he comes out in relation to Zartam, who's still in the pit lane. He's still changing his tyres. Yossi crosses him in the pit lane. It's a big gap. I think it's going to be a pretty big gap, you know. Okay, it's quite a long way around for Yossi through the first corner, but oh, the Red Bull still hasn't come out yet. And it is a really big win here for Yossi in comparison to Tam. Massive gap there. Luca's gone and set the fastest lap at 1:45.7 for the Aston Martin, and Yossi getting past the AlphaTauri there, down the Camel Straight. Easy as can be, DRS. Lovely, really. And that puts Yossi into P3. With a couple drivers ahead, including Real Pordy and Stiggy, who are very, very close to one another, and Yossi not that far down the road.
Yeah, very not. But not very bad road at all. But yeah, it's going to get interesting now, isn't it?
I sure hope it does, I'm going to be totally honest. We need a little bit more battling, I think. We've had some pretty decent battles, obviously. Lap 1 down the Kemmel Straight, that was actually fantastic watching that battle just then. Very, very good. Let's hope for just a little bit more as we sort of enter really the final stages of this race. Just 7 more laps to go. As Stiggy's sort of coming up to the end of the 8th last lap. Yossi has rapidly caught up here to Real Pordy. It was 2.1 seconds at the start of this lap. It's now 1.2. So very, very fast increase there. But 7 lap younger medium tyres in comparison to your boy, and obviously 7 lap younger mediums to Stiggy's hards, which is obviously a big advantage.
It is about an advantage, but the mediums obviously wear off quite quickly, so it's going to be an interesting dynamic to play out. That will play out.
Sorry, my headset disconnected. What fights we got going on? Vita's going to go for it down the Kemmel Straight. Gets it done. Yes, he does. That took a little second. But Vita up into P4. Though Wundex having absolutely none of it. He's still right on the back. Could he possibly go for a move here? He could have, but he decided against it. I think possibly set up a move a little bit later on in the lap is probably a good idea to go. Yossi managed to get past as well there. Did you see that overtake?
No, not really. I think he's done Camel Straight, but Boeing's just gone round at no name.
Ideal for him. Yeah, he's back underway now, heading through to on, but that's lost him 3 positions down to P10. Let's take a little look at who's sort of done couple of position gains over here. So Stiggy obviously up on his position by 4 places at the moment, doing rather well, and Real Pordy also doing very well, up 8 places. Windex also up 9. Really big increases for a few of those drivers. Obviously everybody's stopped now, so these are kind of your final tyres unless we have a safety car within sort of the next couple of laps. Real Pordy into the pits, so he's decided to come for another stop. Interesting, really. I don't think he's going to be able to gain that time back with the amount of laps we've got left.
It's interesting. It's interesting indeed.
I really can't see him sort of being able to gain that much time back. He's dropped from P3 to P12, and I know he was on quite old medium tyres, but you might have just been able to hold out to the end of the race. Maybe he's pushed on them a little bit too hard and they're just not quite there. And also, at this point, surely you'd switch to soft tyres to finish the race on. But he hasn't. He's gone for medium. Let's hope that it all works out for him. The Boeing managed to get himself past the Demorts down the Kemmel Straight. I think is where we've seen nearly all of the overtakes today down the Kemmel Straight. It's a very strong part of the circuit where you're almost guaranteed to get some really good opportunities to overtake.
Here comes Yossi. Here he comes.
He's now right on the back of Stiggy and really throwing him off here. And it's interesting to see when you're on the back of Yossi just how different their sort of lines are through corners. Yossi with a really early entry, Stiggy really struggling for the apex there.
Oh, Michael's gone round again.
Who's gone round? Lisa is round again. Well, I'm going to have to keep watching Yossi here because I think he might be able to make a move into the bus stop. He's good at it. He's already shown that he can make this move, and he's going to go side by side. He's forced Stiggy into a defensive position. Perhaps a switch back in order. I think that could be an absolutely nailed switch back with DRS wide open. He might be able to make a move around the outside here into turn 1. But no, Stiggy's got a really good exit there, and I think he might switch the inside. No, he holds back just for now. I think this is now a move for the Kemmel Straight. It's almost guaranteed, really. Yossi will probably stay behind, grab that DRS, and go for it. So here they go, up Eau Rouge, through Radion, DRS wide open. Yossi going for the move to put him into the lead of the race. He is through on track. He just needs 3 seconds now to become net leader. Well, he's got 3 tenths.
3 seconds in 4 laps.
3 seconds in 4 laps. It's a big ask. So
yeah, but any other track, it would be a big ask. But it's Belgium, so
it is Belgium, which just
really wide.
It does make his life a little bit easier. 2 Ferraris not having a very good day, are they?
No, they're not.
P11 and P12, and it's been looking really strong for them, sort of on and off. You know, Real Pordy was in a solid position, so was Vita, and now dropped down to the back of the grids. Unfortunate for them. That will be a nice span in the works for constructors. Speaking of, let's have a little look at them, because we didn't look at that at all during qualifying. There was just a little bit too much going on. Standings. PSF9. Well, after Portugal last week, which unfortunately we weren't able to show because I was quite ill and Mr. Tyler just couldn't get stream working. Tam won in the end. Yossi came in P3 and Suarez got P12. Yeah, that's a very good point. Suarez isn't here in P3 of the championship right now, which kind of I'd say it kind of opens it for Demorts to overtake, and yeah, he probably will with the points, but he could have capitalised on it a little bit more, you know.
If Stiggy wins his race, I'm not going to be happy. He's been talking it all. He's been talking a big talk in a party before, so I'm not be happy. But you know, that's friends, isn't it? But yeah, he's kept that gap reasonable.
Yeah,
3 laps.
1.6 at the moment, and he's regulating it at the moment. I'm not quite sure whether Yossi understands whether he's got a penalty or not, because he's been so quick, and now he is kind of relaxing a little bit, I'd have said, because that time isn't going up quite as much as yeah, Yossi's got a penalty quite a while ago actually now, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Only a couple of drivers with penalties. Vita was 6 seconds, which isn't ideal for him. As Luca goes and sets past that with 44.9. Really strong lap from him. He's got himself past.
Yeah, Yossi's going now. Yossi's going now.
Yeah, he's definitely beginning to put a push on. 2.2 seconds. And I think this could be the end of Stiggy's opportunity for the win. Very, very soon, Tam will also want to possibly look at catching up. I don't think he's going to be able to take Stiggy here. I think Stiggy's going to probably end up in P2 here, so long as nothing goes wrong.
Oh my lord, he's struggling, huh?
Is he? I know he has been struggling through that corner pretty much all weekend. We've seen it quite a few times with sort of competing battles. He's on 15 lap hard tyres, so I imagine they're warm, but I don't imagine they'll be absolutely wrecked. And the problem is this is sort of really giving Tam an opportunity to catch up a fair amount. Obviously, it was 3 seconds through the bus stop, 2.5. Obviously, not quite enough bus stop chicanes to bring that down to 0. However, definitely a big aid. Though Tam does have 1%, 0% ERS right now, which isn't ideal.
No, it's not at all.
Stiggy's managed to see ERS quite nicely here, actually. 43% right now. And ooh, big little wiggle around there for Tam. That's brought him down to 3.4 seconds. So, big little problem for him. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 as well. That is Vita, who's DNF, in the pit lane, or just exiting the pit lane. He's now coming back out the track to retire. Not quite sure how that works, but there we go. That is F122 for me. Istro also very close to the AlphaTauri, just behind.
Wait, Luke's gonna get one. Oh no, he's pulled off, okay. Thank God he pulled off. That would have been a massive incident.
Istro might be able to go for a move here, possibly into the bus stop, possibly earlier, as he is sat right on the back of this AlphaTauri. Not deploying very much ERS, not that there's very much ERS to deploy, and I think a move into the bus stop chicane is only logical. He's going to go for it. AlphaTauri goes very defensive. Keystro keeps himself in there, doesn't quite pull it off, loses a lot of time, and opens the door for his Williams teammate to possibly get a bite out of him, though Tisho holds back in Keystro. That's not confusing at all. Keeps the position just for now, and I think possibly a move down the chemical.
Oh, Demos's almost lost it. Yeah, out of
keep himself going though.
What's Temon called? The source. Here comes Christopher though. Did I say his last week? I don't know, but do you know what his name reminds you of?
Oh, Williams is going to go for it. So it's 3 wide. Tisho's launched one in the middle. He's managed to get himself past Keystro. Very nicely done. AlphaTauri losing 2 positions there down the Camel Straight, and he's going to really have to up his game if he wants anything but 19 lap
You
on
know,
hard. Was it inevitable? I think so.
yes, it was. You know the game where you use your PC to make that athlete run, so like what it's called? There's
No.
you're not cultured enough on YouTube. If any of you do know that, you'll get what I'm trying to say. His name doesn't look like it. Much of it. I don't know why. Probably because of the QW. But yes, that's the only gap within the second at turn out moment.
No, whenever I see his name, I just think Quiche, to be honest.
Very nice foul Quiche, right?
Also, Tam picked up a 3-second time penalty, which sort of forces him into third. He definitely can't do anything now, really, with the amount of laps we've got left. We've got 1 lap remaining, just as Jolly crosses the line there. Stiggy in P2, still looking pretty comfortable. Tam in P3. But with Sco Perez also on 3-second time penalties, he hasn't got to worry about him. What Sco Perez has to worry about is T-Show, who is just 3/10 out of that time penalty as of right now, and will be hoping to get within it within this lap. So I think this could be our biggest battle on top of T-Show being with his teammate and sort of very close as well. These are the 2 closest drivers to each other, and just 2/10 between getting 5th and 4th for T-Show is our biggest battle. So it's what we're going to put all of our heart and soul into, and I think T-Show is going to catch up, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough to get a move done. Quick little look at tyres, I think, we'll say that T-Show is on the slightly younger tyres, just by a lap. Windex also in the pit lane, soft tyres, he'll be going for a fast start. Tam picking up a 3-second time penalty there, and that promotes Scopez into P3. And I think that might open the door for T-Show to get...
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, because he's 4 seconds behind him.
Oh god, yeah, he is. So Tam, basically, he's just got to hold on here and hope not make a mistake through the last couple of corners. Keep watching that though, because T-Show just a 10th away. Really close now, less than a 10th. Is he going to be able to do it? He's only on 14% ERS. 11%. He's going to have to absolutely maximise this down the straight. Use it exactly where he should. We're going to have to ignore that for just a second though, because Yossi comes across the line to win here at Spa. It was a very comfortable victory for him, and it's 7 seconds back to Stiggy, and then Tam in P3. And it's probably not going to be Scopez at this second in time. He's come across the line. Is T-Show going to be able to do it? He does do it. At the very end there, Keisho stays in 6th place. Scopez just scoots in between the two. Demort in P7 and Zartom in P8. Real 40 P9. Just a couple more drivers to come across the line. There goes V Boeing into the wall, just right at the very end there. And then we've just got Windows and Luca to go, as they've just got a couple more corners to come across. What did you think of the race?
It wasn't the most exciting race of the season, was it? But
No.
Wasn't too bad. There were some battles.
Overall, definitely could have been better, but at the same time, I think that will be... It's kind of an interesting race, isn't it? Because it's not been too action-packed, but I think that first lap shenanigans will kind of go down for this season's sort of history as one of the best sights I think we'll see, because that was absolutely unbelievable down the Kemmel Straight.
It was incredible at the start of the race. And there we are.
So Demort's picking up the F1 driver of the day, so he got the most positions gained. However, it is this man once again. He cannot stop winning.
He's Griddian, isn't he? He's Griddian, yeah.
Oh god, the Paul. That's Paul. Well, this is his 4th win of the season out of 8 rounds, so he's won half the time. So we're kind of getting used to him being up here on the top step of the podium. Even more notably, this is his 6th podium of the season of 8 races. So the Haas doing rather well. Congratulations to Yossi for another win. Well, after that race, it was a pretty good race, to be honest. Although it definitely could have been better. Well,
Yeah.
Yossi started at the front, finished at the front, didn't lead every lap, unfortunately, nor did he pick up fastest lap. So it's no grand slam for him, but it's still a very decent result. Stiggy in P2 for the Mercedes team. He'll be very happy with that, and I look forward to hearing what he's got to say. Tan in P3 rounds out the podium with Scopez in
He's going to join in
P4,
here.
T-shirt in P4, Scopez in P5 and Keister in P6, Demore in P7 and Tom in P8, Raporti in P9 and Boeing in P10, Wundex P11 and Luca P12, Vita P13 and Carl P14, Mitwi P15 and BR P16, of which everybody, Vita and below, did not finish the race, and Luca picked up the fastest lap of the race. Well, let's find out
I
whether.
don't want to hear from Stiggy. I don't hear from Stiggy. I don't want to hear from Stiggy.
Well, he said he was going to do it, so.
I don't like it. I don't like it because every time he says something, it goes right. It's just no.
Well, having a little look at the Discord, it was 85% wear on the tyres for Stiggy.
Wow.
85%. That is brutal.
Wow. I'm not proud.
Speaking of, hi Stiggy.
Da 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 da.
P2. Happy with it?
Yeah, I am. I'm over the moon. My qualifying was, I think my theoretical best was P2 in quali. I mean, the first lap I did was a banker. Then I decided that it was still dry enough to get another lap in, but I was like 2.5 tenths up into P1 and just touched the outside of the corner and just lost it. I couldn't get a good lap in after that. But yeah, P5, and then I had a bad start. I was just sort of boxed in for the majority of the first phase of the race. Safety car came along. I thought, well, I'll pit for hards, and if I need to stop, I will. Sort of cut to about 10 laps to go, and I thought my tyres would just about make it. It was averaging about 4% a lap, 4.5%.
No.
So yeah, got to end the race on about 80 odd percent. So I'm happy with that. Yossi, I knew Yossi was coming by. I knew I couldn't win the race unless he had an accident. But his racing he raced really fairly. I did decide to dump half my battery just to have a race with him though, which probably wasn't the best idea for tyre management. But I thought, well, do it for the views.
Hello.
Oh,
I'll go because I have a question for Thomas. Sadly. Okay. Hello, Stiggy.
Hello.
Long time no speak. I've got to be professional. So I hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you had a good New Year.
I did. Thank you.
Good. Going into this race, you said you had no practice. You weren't looking forward to it. What? Obviously, next week we're going down under.
Yeah.
I dare you to race upside down.
Australia. Now, previous experience with that track has been the auto spin curve after the S section. That's the one thing that decides to kill me. But yeah, no, I mean, no practice. I mean, I did one lap on time trial and I was happy with the setup. The setup that I had was just good. I mean, the biggest concern with it was coming into the final corner. I kept on losing the rear. So I had to be careful, and I just forgot to adjust the brake bias forward. So I had it on 50 brake bias, and I just kept on losing the rear into the final corner. Somewhat in the race pace, but yeah, I was still really happy with the result today. I don't think I could have got much better if I practiced. I think the only reason why I did so well today was because of strategy. I think if the race had played out without safety car, I probably would have struggled to finish fifth, to be fair. But yeah, no, happy with the result. In terms of Australia, I haven't done it in ever. So
it's a new circuit.
It's a new circuit. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I do need to looking to get a setup on it though, and getting some laps done. But I probably will practice for it. But yeah, I've had a couple of good results now this season. I didn't have a good start, so I'm happy to be bringing the average points back up a little bit.
Well, there's one thing that I like to do, just sort of generally, and this is 3-word race roundup, and I would like to hear yours. So, if you wouldn't mind.
I'm sure I've said this before. I've not the strategy is key. I'm sure I've said that before in a previous time I've done this. But it does matter. I mean, the thing is that if it benefits so much calculating how much tyre wear you're getting and lap on lap, because the last thing you want to do is not be concerned about tyre wear and then realise it's too late to pit for another set of tyres and lose all that time. And to be fair, I know I'm in a position where I'm not fighting for the championship, so I'm just trying to get the best result possible. But I would have still been disappointed if I'd had a puncture and lost all the positions. I mean, the track told me that if I'd pitted now, would have come out 12th. For like the last 10 laps of the race, so I didn't have much of a choice apart from just to stay out. And luckily, Tam made a mistake and then didn't have the legs to make it back up, and in the time got 6 seconds by the penalties. So yeah, strategy or consistency is key. I mean, consistency wise, I was lapping the 47s for about 7 laps within about 3 or 4 tenths of each other. And tyres are wearing more and more, but those are my many words.
I will say I much prefer it when you guys can just speak your mind than you get some people that you ask a question and they're like, yes, no, yes. I don't have the capabilities to think of that many questions on the spot.
Can I have a 4-word race roundup?
Go for it.
Jack's in the mud.
Ah,
No. Jack's in the mud.
thank you.
You're very
It's
welcome.
alright.
I hate you so much.
Yep, I know. Be professional.
Professional, yeah.
Can we finish the stream now, please?
Yeah, okay.
Please, please.
Congratulations on P2, Stiggy, and
Thank
we'll
you.
speak to you later.
You will. Take
See you
care.
next week. Alrighty, so that rounds
I hate him.
That rounds out the stream today. Thank you all very much for watching. I've been the Cartristic as usual. He's been Jack Tyler as usual.
Hello.
Thank you, and good night.